Today, we're talking about a growing issue that affects many people: the data our personal devices collect. Our goal is simple: to help you stay aware, stay calm, and stay safe. A lot of us choose Apple products specifically because they have this strong reputation for privacy. But the reality of it is, well, it's a little more complicated than that. Our purpose here isn't to create any fear, it's just about giving you the information so you can be prepared and make the choices that feel right for you. It's all about awareness.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. It's absolutely true that when you compare them to other big tech companies, Apple is often seen as a leader in user privacy. They've really built their brand around this promise of security, the idea of keeping your personal data yours. But here's the thing we need to understand. Your device is still designed by default to learn from you and track your behavior. Now, Apple's position on this is that the data is handled responsibly. They say it's often anonymized or stored right there on your device. But the tracking itself, that is very, very real.
So, what exactly does your iPhone know about you? Let's take a look at the specific kinds of information your device is logging, a lot of times quietly in the background without you even realizing it. There are really 5 main categories to think about. First up is location history. This is a feature called significant locations, and it logs the places you go to most often. Then there's app usage, which keeps track of which apps you're opening and for how long. Third, your searches and all your Siri requests are stored for a while. Fourth is device analytics. This is stuff like your battery's health or reports from when an app crashes. And finally, your activity within Apple's own services, like the App Store, is also recorded. And that last point brings us to a pretty key finding from a research report back in 2022. It discovered that even when people went into their settings and turned off analytics sharing, some Apple apps were still sending detailed data about how they were used back to the company. It's a really clear example of how our settings aren't always as simple as they look. Okay, so we know this data is being collected, but why does it matter? What's the real-world impact of all this? Let's connect the dots between this data and our daily lives. Well, for starters, this data reveals your routines. It can paint a really clear picture of where you live, where you work, basically the patterns of your personal life. Second, it influences the choices you make. The things you see promoted in the App Store or on Apple Music are shaped by this data, and that subtly guides your experience. And third, even data that's supposed to be anonymized can sometimes be traced back to a specific person if you combine it with other pieces of information. Now, this is the most important part of our conversation today: how you can take control. We're going to walk through a few simple, practical steps you can take to check your settings and really enhance your privacy. All right, let's walk through these slowly together. First, to turn off significant locations, you'll go to Settings, then tap Privacy and Security, then Location Services. From there, scroll all the way to the bottom and tap System Services. Find significant locations and just turn it off. Okay, next step, limiting personalized ads. Go back to Settings, then Privacy and Security, and tap on Apple Advertising. In there, you'll see an option to turn off personalized ads. And third, to disable analytics sharing. Go back one more time to Privacy and Security, tap on Analytics and Improvements, and just turn off all the sharing options you see on that screen. Following these steps is a great start, but technology is always changing. So the most powerful tool you have is really just your own awareness. The key takeaway is simple: always stop, think, and verify your settings. Don't just rush through things.
Look, the goal here isn't to stop using our devices. It's about learning to use them intentionally. Because when you're aware of what's happening in the background, you are the one in control of your digital life. Awareness really is control.
What we've discussed today is just one part of staying safe in a digital world. The goal is not to fear technology, but just to stay informed and be cautious. Awareness is protection. If you stay alert, you stay safe.
Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, and share this information with your family.